Hello patron and welcome back to my life. It's Writer Wednesday, the day where I give you my tips and advice on the art and the business of writing, tell you how I do what I do as an indie author. Today we're going to talk about theme, and themes in plural, and what the fuck is a theme? I doubt I have seen anything in the entire field of writing discussed so widely and so differently understood as theme, unless it's there, and there. Listen, different people will tell you that theme means different things, okay? I want to acknowledge that right now. I have seen some people say theme is this, and I've seen some people say theme is that. So what you need to do as a writer first is you need to find a definition of theme that works for you, and by works for you, I mean it helps you write better books. That's it, okay? So we're going to talk about what I think theme is and a couple other things that some people think theme means and what I think those things are instead. And we're all going to be cool, okay? We're going to be cool. I mean, we're going to acknowledge that it means different things to different people, and we're going to go with the definition that I have heard before that helps me the most with my writing. So my definition for theme is the message of your book. Actual message. It is what your book is saying. It is the argument of your book. It is the thesis of your book. Well, not the thesis exactly, but we'll get there in a second. The most common other way of thinking about or defining theme that I have heard is that it's more of a concept that you explore, right? Like death can be a theme. But I don't consider that to be true. I consider some idea like that, a general idea, to be a motif. So a lot of people say that the most constant theme in The Lord of the Rings, which I'll talk about a lot in this video because it is the one that I've explored the themes of the most. A lot of people say that the most prevalent theme in Lord of the Rings is death, but I don't think so. I think that is the motif, but the message, the theme, to me, of Lord of the Rings has to do with death. And to me, the theme of Lord of the Rings is everything dies eventually, and that's kind of okay. That's everything. In all of Middle-earth, everything dies eventually, but it's kind of okay. It's sad, but it's okay. That's what happens, and we move on with our lives, and it is still worth living, even though everything dies. So again, that is my definition of theme. That it is a message that a work seeks to convey rather than just a general idea, which I consider a motif. That is the definition that works for me, okay? Okay. So the most important thing about theme is that it drives everything. Everything focuses and centers around your central theme and sub-themes of your book. Which, by the way, is my personal way of solving the big problem that all writers have with Act 2. But I'm actually going to make a separate video about Act 2 next week. Well, maybe not next week. If there's a question, I might need to answer a question next week. But other than that, I will address how theme helps us get through Act 2 in a later Writer Wednesday video. But literally everything can be tied to your theme, okay? So again, we're going to go back to Lord of the Rings, and I just want to stress, the only reason that I'm going to use Lord of the Rings so much in this video is because in order to really wrap your head around theme, you need to study it a lot. And I have studied no written work in the entire world as much as I have studied Lord of the Rings. So that's just what I'm most conversant in. That theme, everything dies, and it's okay for that to happen, plays into literally everything. Gollum is a perfect example. What's really wrong with Gollum? He won't just die. He is the embodiment of unable to let go. And Tolkien's message, everything dies, but it's okay, and we should just go on with our lives and keep living. He is the antithesis of that. He will not let go, and so he becomes what he is. Even his final act is that he dies because he's unable to just fucking let it go, man. And what is wrong with Frodo and the ring? His moment at the end is he won't let the ring go. He was going to the entire time, but he finally can't, and so he turns to the dark side, but then Gollum also can't let it go, and so the resolution of the story comes about. Spoilers for Lord of the Rings, I guess, but hopefully you didn't need that. How do the Fellowship of the Ring and Faramir react to the death of Boromir? They all are sad. It is sad that he died, but they decide to move on and continue living their lives. Who doesn't do that? Denethor. He just can't let go, and so he is a crazy person. All of the good people recognize that death happens. It is a thing that happens. It is something that is sad, and maybe things will never be as good as they were when the beautiful thing was still alive, but they are going to carry on with their lives. They're going to continue living, and the only person who won't do that is Sauron. He wants to hold on to everything. He wants to clutch on to power and keep it for himself, and so on and so forth. And this also teaches us the difference between comedy and tragedy. Tragedy and tragic endings occur when characters refuse to accept the theme of a work, and comedic, in the more like ancient definition of comedy, which just means a happy ending. But comedy is when the characters accept the theme and live their lives by the theme of the work. So Gollum can't let go, and he comes to a bad end. Frodo also kind of suffers because of his inability at the end of it all to let go of the ring. And in the entire Lord of the Rings, the only person who like freely gives it up with no qualms or real moments of weakness, I mean moment of weakness or doubt maybe, but like he just gives it away, is Sam. Frodo, according to what Sam knows, dies, right? Like Sam thinks he's dead and he goes, crap, you're dead, it's sad, I'm sad, that's awful, but I'm going to carry on. I'm going to continue the quest. That's the theme, right? Then he finds out Frodo is still alive, happy day, everything is fine, and he just gives him back the ring. He doesn't have to hold on so hard. And he's the only one with like a truly happy ending. No, that's not true. Lots of people actually have like very truly happy endings, particularly Legolas and Gimli, which just... But it's people who can't let go, who rebel against the natural order of things, who suffer bad or at least not entirely good endings in Lord of the Rings, and it's people who accept that death happens and that we should all move on with our lives, that have the good endings, the best endings. Now, then we come to the question of intent. Should your theme be intentional or not? I've seen a lot of people argue that you will always have readers finding themes in your work that you did not intend. And this is true. You can find things like John Green talks all the time about The Fault in Our Stars and how people go, I discovered this theme and this way of thinking because of your book. And he goes, great, I totally did not intend that. That's always going to happen, right? Other people take from our work what they want from it. But some people try to turn this into an argument that therefore we shouldn't intend any theme in our work at all. And that's bullshit! I don't want to get too much on a rant similar to what I did last week, but that's like saying, well, you can't ever avoid all typos in your book. Something will always slip through, therefore don't edit! No! Have a theme. Have something you're trying to say with your work. Have a message you're trying to communicate. And then when people find deeper messages based on their own lives, be happy about that. It's great. But if you don't intend the themes, if you don't try to put the message in your work, it's that's part of what makes stories so good. Why would you not want to have that? Theme is a tool. It is a tool and it is a component of our writing. It's like act structure, which just tends to make stories better for readers. It's like good character development. It is important, and you should intend it. And you should constantly be trying to learn how to use theme better, okay? Okay. All right, so there's a very basic breakdown of theme. If you want to know more about this, and if you have like particular pieces or things that you want to talk about, let me know. We can talk about it in comments on YouTube and Patreon, and if there is enough discussion about it, I will maybe make more Writer Wednesdays about, sub-themes and all that sort of stuff going forward in the future. That's it for Writer Wednesday. As always, if there's a topic you want me to cover in these videos, let me know in the comments. These videos are for you, and I want to help you with anything you might be struggling with. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you, as always, for your incredible support, and I will see you next Wednesday. Bye!